Hi, my name is Hannah Long. Today I'll be talking about just some main points with boundary management, a leader that I interviewed within my own company, a professional that I really admire, and then some communications behaviors, and then we'll wrap it up. Before I start anything, I just want to plant this seed in your head for this presentation. If you're like me, you go to work really early in the morning, you get up, you start your day with a cup of coffee, whatever. You get to work and you're excited about the day, you're amped up. You say, okay, I'm gonna get home, you make all these plans in your head. I'm gonna get home, I'm gonna do some laundry, like extra more than I do. I'm gonna take the dog for a run, I'm gonna go to the gym after that, I'm gonna make a great dinner. And then 4 o'clock rolls around and you are doing everything in your power to make it to 5 o'clock. You give 120% at your job and you feel like you're running out of steam and have nothing to give when you get home. If you resonate with that, we could be friends because I am also like that. So like I said, today we'll talk about first, some boundary management. Two types that I really want to talk about are the segmenter and the integrator. The segmenter, to me, they cut it off. They leave it at the door, which is something that the person I talked about really talk about a lot. Leaving it at the door, it's cut off. Their work is here, their home is here. So they have a really separate life. Integrators like to kind of mesh the two within, reason. And they do a really good job, or they try to, of incorporating that in a healthy way, together. Sometimes they can work from home and do this. Sometimes they can take an hour here and do this. So those are kind of my interpretations of that. According to Suite Chapter 3, page 43, there are 6 pieces of advice that they wanted to offer professionals when it comes to work-life balance. The first being managing time and priorities. The second, make a schedule. Stick to the schedule. That's really important. Plan menus for the week. Leave your work at the office. Leave it at the door. That's what I talk about. Get good sleep and make your foundations. Set yourself up for success. So the person that I interviewed was our regional sales manager, Brian Marks. I'm an account executive at Aramark, so I do sales of linens, towels, first aid, restrooms, you name it, we probably sell it. Excuse me. He is in charge of that. So he has a humongous team. He has like 15 to 20 little AEs, such as myself, that follow him around and they utilize him for advice. Along with that, he's kind of the jack of all trades where I work. He talks to the RSRs, which are route drivers, talks to your plant manager. He is the guy. So I knew he'd be really great because he is constantly busy and there's constantly a line out of this guy's office. So something that he really capitalized on in our interview was leaving it at the door. So he talks about some of the crazy things he has at work. He deals with a whole plethora of people. So he says it's really important. He has 2 young daughters, he has a wife, and he wants to have the time spent with them, to be as valuable as possible to all of them. He said that when he first started this job, he made the mistake of giving 90% at work and 10% at home. So he said he had to find a way to change that, and his wife came to him and said, this is not going to work. This is not going to fly. So he said the biggest thing for him was taking the conflicts at work, the biggest problems, and leaving them at the door. When he gets home, it's outside. So, and that led me into the part about being a segmenter. And we really talked about, the informal definitions of that I took from it. And he chose, himself. He said it was more important to be a segmenter because he couldn't handle being an integrator. He said that he had tried to do that. And that's when his wife came to him and was like, whoa, this is not working. So she said that he had to leave it at the door. And so he respected that, and he said that their relationship, their marriage, relationship with his kids has been the most healthy it's ever been. He spends more time with them, and he has a schedule with them. So we also talk about, with this, a couple boundaries that he sets. So he sets boundaries with his clients, and he sets boundaries with his work phone, and I will talk about both of those. With boundaries with clients, he lets them know, and our job as salespeople, he caters to the large accounts, and he caters to all of our team. So he lets them know, I'm there for you. I'm happy to help you. But the hours of 8 to 5, that's when I'm happy to help you. And so they know, everybody knows that. We have a common understanding. And he told us, when I started this job, he's like, and I expect the same out of you. He holds us to a really high standard. However, he understands the fact that life happens and we have lives outside of work. With the work phone, he said that he puts his phone on Do Not Disturb. Puts it in his car, puts it in a backpack, away from him so he is not tempted to read the messages when he hears the occasional buzzes, if he does. The reason I say that is we move into the good and the bad. With the phone, it's really great that he has that to be connected to, people through the hours of 8 to 5. It's good that he can put it away, and that way his sole focus is on his kids and wife. It's bad that people can text him, see he's on Do Not Disturb, and notify anyway. And also with the clients, they know he's there for them and he expects that. So I think summing up the main points for me, we look at, some takeaways, 2 takeaways. I see that it's really important and it'll destroy your family life if you don't figure out the work-life balancing. That's number 1. Number 2, it's not healthy. I can't keep up my endurance with this job if I don't do this. Someday with my own family, I'm going to have to learn, how to make those choices, what priorities are what. I think some tips into my routine, just helps me respect others. And learning to respect others is everything to me. And then some interesting findings, just finding that through my interview, that this is not just like an uncommon problem. Everybody struggles with this at some point. So I'll leave this with you. If you come home and you've given 120 at work and you give 0 at home, how are you going to fix that? How can I fix that? How can I be better? Thank you.